5. Magic Doorbell. Mom and I looked at each other and froze. Is that some kind of reminder alarm on your phone? Dad asked my mom. Sort of, Mom replied. The doorbell meant that a magical creature needed our help. But my dad couldn't see the creatures. To him, it looked like nothing was there. This was going to be a bit tricky. I looked at my mom and raised my eyebrows. Zoe, I think I left something out in the barn. My mom raised an eyebrow back at me. Oh, right, that thing, I said. Sassafras and I can get it for you. Sassafras and I dashed outside and through the barn to the back door. I opened it and looked around. My shoulders dropped. There was no one was there. Then I looked way down. I jumped in surprise. There on the grass, standing on two legs like a person, was a shimmering purple frog covered head to toe in neon spots. Could it be? Was this the talking frog my mom had told me stories about? Sassafras pushed in front of me. He closed his eyes and gently bumped his head against the frog. The frog reached out a tiny webbed hand and petted Sassafras on the nose. Hello, old friend. Sassafras immediately began purring. Pip, is that really you? I squeaked. The frog looked up at me. You can see me, and you know my name? Who are you? Ever since I'd seen a picture of Pip in my mom's office, I'd been dying to meet him. I burst out with everything all at once. Hi, Pip, I'm Zoe. I think you were expecting my mom. But I can see you too. I've been helping my mom with the magical animals. Are you hurt? Is something wrong? Oh my, let's see here. First, hi Zoe, nice to meet you. I was expecting your mom, but you will do. Pip took a deep breath and got a serious look on his face. The mer horses from our stream are in trouble. We don't know what's wrong. Pip began talking faster and faster. Their skin and eyes hurt, and they can't find any of their food. They usually eat moo flies, but they can't find any. Mayflies? Right. They said they can't find the March flies under the water anymore. He paused and thought for a moment and scratched his head. Although I'm not sure what that means. I don't know of any flies that live underwater. Well, mayflies start their lives underwater as babies, I said. They have gills and stuff until they get way bigger. Then they actually fly. Huh? Well, anyway, there's something going on because all the mer flies are missing. I noticed that the mayflies were missing when I was at the stream earlier, I said. Mom and I just finished running some tests on the stream water. I've got some bad news. It's polluted. Oh no, said Pip, placing two tiny webbed hands on his cheeks. I need to see your mother right away. Then Pip jumped onto my head. Ah, that's much better. Humans are so useful. I can always see better from up here. What are you waiting for? Take me to her. I walked back to my house as quickly as I could manage with a frog on my head and a nervous cat winding through my legs. When I opened the front door, I wondered what would happen with my dad there. He couldn't see anything magical. How would we talk to Pip? Maybe I should wait until later. Zoe, called Mom from her office. Did you, find the thing? Uh-oh, too late to turn back now. They'd heard me come in. I cleared my throat. Yeah, I definitely found something. I turned the corner, and my mom's jaw dropped. Pip, is that you? She said. Did you teach Zoe your pretend frog game? Dad asked. In that case, I'll take my own pretend frog to make a snack for us and leave you two to play with yours. He held out his hand and looked at it. Hello, Plop. It's time for an afternoon snack. Would you like to come help me? Yes. Oh, thanks. Dad leaned in closer to his empty hand. Sure, Plop. We can make some dead fly sandwiches for you and your friend Pip. On my head, Pip spluttered in disgust. I would never eat a dead insect. Disgusting. Mom and I bit our lips to keep from laughing. We had to work hard to hear Dad over Pip's shouting. Plop and I will be in the kitchen. Will you three, I mean four, join us soon? Mom cleared her throat. Let us clean up in here first, then we'll come join you. Dad nodded and left carefully, carrying his handful of air. My mom turned back to Pip, who had hopped down to her desk. He was standing there with his arms crossed. Ugh, he sighed. I thought he'd never leave. And really, Plop? What kind of name is that? So glad to see you, Pip. Mom kissed him gently on the head. I'm glad to see you too, Pip said, but we need to get to work. Mom frowned. I was hoping you came to visit. Is something wrong in the forest? Pip flailed his arms around. It's the mer horses! They have red spots all over their skin and scales. They're having trouble breathing and their eyes hurt. They can't find enough food, and Zoe says the stream is polluted. Mom clapped a hand to her mouth. Of course, the other creatures in the stream must be suffering, including the magical ones. Those poor mer horses. Seeing my mom so upset made my stomach hurt a little. What were we going to do? Chapter 6. The Mer Horses. Mom and I hurried through the snack that Dad and Plop had made. Pip sat on my head. He kept fidgeting, which was very distracting. I think Zoe and I are going to head back to the stream, said Mom. I'd like to see if we can find the source of the pollution. Absolutely, Dad said. I'll come with you guys. 3 pairs of eyes are better than 2, right? Mom and I exchanged worried looks. Pip wanted to take us to the mer horses so we could talk to them. How could we do that with my dad there? It would look like we were talking to air again. After our conversation with Pip earlier, it might be too much for Dad. Mom's eyes lit up. That would be great. Why don't you and I go upstream, and Zoe can go downstream? We'll meet again in the middle. We all agreed on Mom's plan and went back to the stream. Unlike my usual trips to the stream, this time I had a frog sitting cross-legged on my head. The trail ended at the stream, and I stopped to take my shoes and socks off and roll up my pants. My parents walked upstream. The mer horses live over there. Let's go, Pip said as he wiggled nervously. I plucked him off my head. Hey, he pouted. I can't see where you're pointing, I whispered. Here, right on my shoulder instead. The mer horses live over there, he repeated. This time I could see him point toward the other side of the stream from where I had been looking for bugs this morning. Wait a minute, wasn't that where I had seen that mysterious rainbow light earlier? Maybe I hadn't been imagining it after all. I gave Sassafras a quick pet and then carefully crossed the stream with Pip on my shoulder. We need to get over there to that log, Pip directed me. You can sit on the shore there, and I'll dive down to get the mer horses. Get them from where? I asked. From their rainbow cave, of course, replied Pip. Rainbow cave, I breathed. Oh, right, Pip clapped a webbed hand to his head. You've never even seen a mer horse. Yes, they live deep down in the stream in hidden caves. They built with rainbow stones. Wait a minute. Are you telling me there are rainbow stones in our stream? My heart beat a little faster at the thought. Well, yes and no, Pip said. They aren't just lying around, if that's what you're thinking. When a mer horse finds a stone that's the right size and shape, it carries it back to the cave in its mouth. Then the mer horse uses magic to enchant the stone to shimmer in all the colors of the rainbow. Their caves sound amazing, I said dreamily. That must be why they're hidden. I bet if the caves were near the top of the water, animals like raccoons could find them easily with that rainbow light shining out. Indeed, said Pip. You're pretty smart for a human. You remind me a lot of your mother when she was your age. Ah, here we are. This log right here is the one we're looking for. I knelt on the sandy shore. Pip hopped off my shoulder and jumped in with a sploosh. I got down on my hands and put my face right by the water. He disappeared under the log. But if I held my head in the right place, I could make out some rays of rainbow light shimmering. Deep below, I wished I had brought my underwater viewer. Next time, I promised myself. Pip swam back into view, and something was following right behind him.